you are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business, tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Christine Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers. My friends, sometimes we make finding our next client way harder than it needs to be because we focused on the hardest path, cold outreach. Today, we're not going to take you in that direction at all because I want you to have a win fast. And so today I want to talk to you about reconnecting to your warm network and give you 5 particular scenarios and how to approach them so that you can open doors with warm traffic. Welcome back to Amplify Your Marketing Message. I am your host, Christine Campbell Rapin, and today I want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is your next opportunity is hiding in a conversation you simply haven't started yet. Your known network is the fastest way to win. And yet most people don't prioritize this and don't know how to approach a relationship that's gone cold or dormant. So if that's you, this is an episode you should save, make notes on, and start implementing immediately. Because the truth is that people are busy. I know the busy badge is everywhere. But busy doesn't mean I'm not interested. It means it's just not on my radar. And so for us, it's good leadership to put things on other people's radar. That's the leadership piece that will eventually lead to asks, invitations, and doors to be open. Because these people that already know you have a shared history with you, which means you have immediate context, immediate warmth, and they have some opinion. These should be positive as an overall group because I remember who you were, how you made me feel, and the work we did together. And a warm connection will outpace, outdeliver, outmove cold outreach. And that's why I always kind of giggle, because seriously, I giggle, when people come to me saying, I've spent so much money on cold leads and it's not working. And I said, well, no wonder. It's the least effective way to do it. It's a volume game, 1% effective for 99% noise. I don't play there. And people go, what? And I'm like, no, seriously, I don't play there. We don't play with cold traffic. We always warm it up. And we always focus on our warm traffic because it's what works. And that doesn't mean that we don't do paid ads, but paid ads lead to a place to warm up the relationship before offers and conversations ever can happen. So we don't go from awkward, I don't know you, to a marriage proposal. And that's what most people do when they hire agencies to go bring them cold traffic. So let's not do that, my friends. Today, I want to talk about how do you reconnect with a warm network, even if it's gone dormant or you've ignored it or haven't prioritized it to date. Today's the day that changes everything. People who have shared history don't forget other people. We never forget how we made others feel or we received how others treated us. And if we created shared value, it always has a beautiful, warm halo. And there's an opportunity to leverage that halo to open wide doors. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that with 5 different scenarios in today's episode. Because the truth is, when people say, well, but I don't know what to say. It's been so long. It's all awkward. And I'm like, it's not awkward. You're making it awkward. Not anymore. I'm going to show you how to not to make it awkward. But remember, when people have a shared history, fear shouldn't be at the table. You shouldn't fear reaching out to someone you have a shared history with. If you have fear, it's because you're intending to pitch slap. Well, my friends, don't do that. We don't like pitch slapping. We don't want to be the perpetrators of that either. The fact is, it doesn't need to be awkward because the lack of a close relationship doesn't mean people are uninterested. What it means is we've lost sight of the proximity because we've been busy. So take all the awkwardness off the table and build around the examples we're going to teach you through today. So the first thing I got to remember is when you're pulling up who do I actually talk to, I'm like, think about your shared history. And here's a couple of different contexts that work really, really well. And I particularly think social media has made this so much easier. You just have to choose to do it. So think about projects you've worked on, or employers you've shared in the past, or a work environment or a charity contribution that created an environment for you. Secondly, you could look at events you've attended, and you should be, certainly as an entrepreneur, really active in event space, because things move faster when we're in person. Things move faster when we're in a shared room, because the fact that we're in the shared room gives us context. We have like-mindedness around it. It could be that you had a conversation that was super memorable. And that can be both a business conversation, a personal conversation. It doesn't matter. The point is it had a lingering memory for you. The fourth way you can think about is mutual interest. And mutual interest, I want you to think lateral here. Yes, we have mutual interest in business, but perhaps we had shared teams, shared hobbies, shared focus for our children, shared, truthfully, frenemies, or maybe even rivalries. All of what I'm asking you to stir in your mind and to invite you to create a system around is every week in your business, I want you to think about one piece of shared history and outbound, call, message, connect to people in your already known circle. And this is so important. The discipline around this will move your business, because reconnections will open doors you didn't know could be there and were still there until you made the decision to do this. And here's the invitation. You go first. Start the conversation. So when you're starting the conversation, here's how to do it without that awkwardness being present. Number one, keep it light, which means for the love of God and all of holiness, please do not pitch to somebody you have a shared history with without first determining if it's welcome, needed, and it's not something that's easy to be effective with on the very first go out. So don't pitch and don't force relevance. I think that when we're re-engaging with somebody who we have a shared history with, it should be the equivalent of a wave across the street. But if all we do is wave at each other and we walk by, we've really missed a golden opportunity to warm up to any great depth of degree a relationship. So wave across the street for sure, but invite and exchange. Give people a reason to respond, a reason to connect, and don't get any of your ego involved with it. Timeliness of the response. Because some people, I said, are busy. Somebody might not immediately respond, and it doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't give you a reason, or shouldn't be a reason, why you simply don't move it forward. Money is in the follow-up and the follow-through. And so don't be caught up in what happens on their side. I want you to instead focus on what you can stir. So that also means I want you to be human and not perfect in this. Please, 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 for the love of it, please do not go to ChatGPT, any kind of AI, and say, tell me how to reach out to my warm market who I haven't talked to in 6 months, because there isn't a perfect opener. You need to be you need to be recognized as you, and you need to be using language that the other person would recognize as your voice. Don't script, be genuine, and approach things with icebreakers that are warm, clear, short, and have zero awkwardness. You're not writing War and Peace on a re-engagement. So I'm going to take you now through 5 circumstances and reasons why you may have shared context, and how I would personally give you a script to go and approach them. This is not perfect, but it will give you some ideas. So the first context is if you have worked together in any capacity. That could be both a peer-to-peer capacity. You could be also a supervisor or an employee. It doesn't matter, but it's a shared work environment or say a shared project environment. So you write an email, you would give a message, voice note, something that sounds like this. And if you're really brave, make a phone call. Hey, so-and-so, I was thinking about Project X, where we work together on Company Y. So much as time has passed since we last connected. Would love to hear what you're working on these days. simple, opportunity to engage, and gave context to somebody who may need a few dots connected to remember who you are and what was going on. Second type of scenario that I do a lot with my clients, because my clients are all entrepreneurs and I encourage them to get in front of more people. And the biggest, easiest way to do this at volume and scale is to attend, participate, lead, facilitate, or speak at events. So this is what we would say to our clients. Hey, we met at event X and we had a great conversation about topic Y. Just wanted to reconnect and see how things have evolved on your end since that event. What I love about this is you've not just said you were there, you've helped anchor to them a dialogue that was you and them together. And what makes this effective is that you actually have to document this. And so it's important, if you're going to be attending events, that you schedule time post the event to capture relevant information. You can do this in Excel spreadsheets, you can do this in documents, notebooks, but even better would be your customer relationship management tool, your CRM. And this also impresses people with your memory, right? So if you can be really specific around the topic, it immediately gains trust and it immediately separates you from the crowd as a whole. So don't forget to just attend the event, but make sure you've taken good notes about who you met with, what was the conversation, and what was your next step. Because perhaps if you've missed following through on the next step, one of the other examples I'm going to give you today will help you overcome that missed or delayed response. So that's how we do events. The third type is if we simply have a relationship that we haven't connected with in maybe months or years. So let's just start by addressing the elephant in the room. Hey, person, it's been a while. I saw your recent post about topic X, and it reminded me of our last conversation. Hope everything's well. What's new with you and your family? This is really important because, sometimes we are busy. We don't not care. It's just been a lack of proximity. And so I want you to be really open to seeing people, being curious about other people's lives, and using that as a reason to reach out. Be the exception. Think about the topics. Think about other people. And if you're going to be scrolling on social media, do it with an intent to find people to re-engage with, not just to scroll and scroll and scroll by people and things that are not known to you. If your goal is forming up a relationship to open a new door. The fourth thing I want you to give you a scenario around is if it's somebody you admire. So somebody you see as a thought leader, somebody that you respect, and how do you approach somebody which you see as somebody with an authority figure? So here's how I would do it. Hey, person X, I've always appreciated your insight on topic X or topic Y. Came across your recent update and thought I'd reach out. Would love to catch up when you have a moment. Notice here the theme. In all four examples we've given you to date, we're tying context to topics. We're showing people the reason, the insight, the connection piece that is stirring our curiosity. We're also showing somebody we see them, we hear them, and we want to engage and learn more. This is really important because if you received a message like these, how would you personally respond? Hopefully with warmth, and you would show the courtesy to actually take time and complete the response. This is our fifth scenario I want to talk about. And this is if something that you've engaged with but potentially lost momentum. Maybe you said you would follow through, you'd provide something, you were hoping for a next step, and the next step stalled. This is really common in the world of business. And I will tell you, we know it. The fortune's in the follow through. So we have to address the elephant in the room. Hey, person X, your name popped into my mind today, and I figured it was the perfect reason and a sign to reconnect. What are you currently excited about? And tell me all about it. What this does is puts them on the spotlight. People love to talk about what their priorities are, what their focuses are, what their current excitement is stirred around. And so give them the forum to say, hey, tell me more. Tell me all about it. Tell me what's got you excited. I can't wait to celebrate you, see you, and if appropriate, maybe I can support it in some way. All of this works effectively when you keep detailed notes on other people. And this is the discipline of great selling. This is something that I was really lucky that I was taught in my early career. Way before things like Salesforce came around, really way before those technical tools of CRMs became bread and butter in big business, I was taught to pay attention to not just the person, but the human and all the facets of their lives. Like, who were they involved with? Did they have children? What were their sports interests? What were their hobbies? And so that there was always details around ways we could care for the human. Right now, we want to bring the human back into business. We want to build relationships and enrich the personal connections. And so this topic, and the reason I wanted to bring it to our podcast in this week's episode, is because I see it all the time from clients. There's so much opportunity in our known network. And if you're going to connect to another human being, take it beyond the surface. Pay attention, listen with both ears, and capture insights and have the patience for engagement. People are distracted, but they never will forget how you made them feel, that you made the effort. And I know for myself, one of the earliest goals I had was to build relationships and build my own version of the United Nations, which means I'm very intentional about how are you? What's going on? Tell me what's your priority. Gosh, we haven't seen each other in 3 years, but I'm in town. Do you want to have coffee? There's no awkwardness to this because it's a muscle I have chosen to build. And it certainly makes me as a human feel amazing. I love reconnecting with people I have a shared past with. And I know for sure it's also opened doors and created opportunities I just never imagined. But it all comes down to this. And so as we wrap up today's episode, I hope this has been super helpful, because we don't often give scripts. We don't often be this specific, but I did hear the need in my conversations with my clients as we started a new year, and I hope it's of value to you. So if it was, please use the episode. Go first, start the conversation, and recognize this. Do it because you care first. You might not have all the responses that you sent out, but the ones that come back have so much richness to them. The world is made better by you reconnecting and you doing this and leading this. I hope this has been helpful. We'll see you all on our next episode. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit ChristineCampbellRapin.com/podcast to get